Hello everyone, welcome to another Destiny video. Today I'm going to be walking through the Wrath of the Machine raid parts 1 and 2. That includes Vosik, the main kind of boss encounter, and the very first part where you first see him at the start of the raid right now. So basically what you're going to see these light pools coming up out the ground, which our runner will have one designated runner which will run through those. Each time you run through it, it will sort of level you up to kind of level 4 of the electricity voltage, and basically what you do is you just throw it into these kind of voltage collectors, if you like. There's 3 voltage collectors, one in the middle that I'm standing next to right there, one on the left and one on the right. So basically the essence of this raid is that you team up in teams of 2 on the left, 2 in the middle normally, and 2 on the right. That's the kind of the theme running through the whole of the Wrath of the Machine raid. So basically what happens is our runner's going to run through those pools of light, collecting them. Once he gets to ×4, he'll run over to one of those electricity pylon collectors, dump it in, and that will start charging it up. As you can see there's a little kind of dial which will fill up as more voltages get collected and put into those collectors. Obviously there's lots of ads around which makes life fairly a little bit difficult, a little bit difficult, but not too bad. But the main thing you need to be worrying about on this first part of the raid are the voltage eaters, which are basically huge shanks, and you can see one coming out there. And what they'll do is they're quite slow, but when they spawn they'll slowly make their way. There's another one over back on the left, if you can just see it over there. They'll make their way over to those voltage collectors and eat the voltage. Obviously it's why they're called voltage collectors. Now, as you can see, that was another electricity dump there. The dial is going right the way around now, almost in the red, so we're almost there. So we make sure those voltage eaters are down, and basically what's going to happen is, awful grenade throw there, completely missed. The next time that we dump that voltage, they're actually going to start spewing out these little bombs, which will throw at Vosik, and that will deplete his shield, and eventually we'll start to be able to do some actual damage to him. So hopefully we should be able to see that. There you go. As you can see, that's fully charged up now, so it starts spewing out the bombs. Youngie there picking up the bombs and throwing them straight at the boss, and just straight at him, and you'll see in a minute that his shield will start to come down. There you go. Those bombs are coming on all 3 of the voltage collectors, by the way. As you can see, there's bombs coming in from the left and the right, as well as ours from the center. So we're going to pick those up, and now his shield's gone, so now we're just basically doing damage to him. Basically just doing as much DPS as we can. The bombs will eventually stop, but his shield will stay off for a little while longer, and you can still do a little bit more damage. As you can see, he's almost at 50%. His shield comes back on now, and we basically rinse and repeat again. I'm using the Outbreak Prime exotic pulse rifle, which I got last week, thanks to the guys in the clan who helped me get it. It's pretty goddamn awesome. It's got a good rate of fire, good damage, and precision shots. It also will spawn nanomites, which will seek enemies that are around, near to those nanomites. It's very stable as well. As you can see, those are the nanomites there. You can see them just spawn out. Quite good. So here we go, this is the second part of the phase. What will actually happen is, we won't actually kill him completely. He'll get down to about sort of 5% health. Well, actually probably a bit more than that, about 10% health. There's another voltage eater on the right there. We'll just get rid of him. Yeah, we'll get down to about 10% health, and he'll actually just retreat and go back into the inside of the wall there, Cosmodrome wall, and we'll actually go after him, and that will be the second part of the boss encounter. Bit of a fail coming up there. There we go. Not a problem for a wall up. Just self-res. Who needs a bubble when you can come back to life, hey? Master race, by the way. Solar grenades work really well here. Obviously staying active for quite some time. They can, deplete an enemy's health quite a lot, and they're also really useful for the boss as well, because the bosses that don't really kind of move around, they stay in one spot. Obviously they can they take quite a lot of damage from them, and with the Viking Funeral perk, everyone else is able to do a lot more damage while the grenade is active as well. So that's also good. As you can see, the voltage collector is now becoming fairly full. I've actually switched to the raid shotgun, which is really good. It's got some really good perks on it. Obviously does extra damage to fallen as well, and it also reduces my army of one perk, so I can get my grenades and melee up really quickly. So there we go, the bombs are dropping again now. As you can see, I pick mine up and move forward a little bit, whereas Youngie doesn't. He just literally stands right underneath where they spawn and throws it straight away. But I'm not that confident with throwing the bombs, so I tend to just move forward a little bit just to make sure that my bombs actually hit. Shield's gone now, so we'll just do him, take him down, damage as much as we can, get those solar grenades in. As you can see, his health comes down quite a lot when those grenades are active there, and there we go. Give him a wave, off he goes. The big fiery eye in the background opens up and he retreats through it, and we make our way to the second part of the Wrath of the Machine raid. So in terms of how this raid compares to King's Fall, it's much more action orientated. It's not as heavily relying on what can you say? The mechanics of getting everything right. You had to make sure everyone did their job right in King's Fall. Whereas this, it's more about execution, really. If you drop the ball, then you're out of the game, and it really is a lot like being in a kind of a game, really, because there is a lot of picking up balls and throwing them at the right place at the right time. So communication is a big thing here as well. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to split the clip between this first raid chest here and the boss encounter, because there's a lot of faffing about when we actually went to the raid chest, exotic chest. So here we are with Vosik. So he spawns out. Again, we have 2 people on left, 2 people on right, and 2 people in the centre. What's going to happen is the enemies are going to spawn, make life difficult for us again. And once again, you'll see that I fail straight away. Not a problem though, come straight back to life, pick up that bomb, and then in 3, 2, 1, we all throw our bombs at the same time, and it's much the same thing really. His shield depletes, but what does happen is after that bomb phase, you'll see a monitor which lights up behind. These monitors must be taken out straight away, otherwise he will trigger a Sieva density critical phase where we'll all kind of get wiped, and we'll all die, and that'll be the end. It'll be a wipe. So we all have to pick up these bombs roughly at the same time and throw them at the same time. That's why you'll hear a 3, 2, 1 throw from one of the guys in the back there. Monitor will get up again there. I think that's already, there we go, taken out the monitor, not a problem. And we're going to keep doing this until DPS phase. The captain will spawn kind of halfway through, which is a big pain in the arse, because they do kind of move around and make it very, very difficult to hit. but once you get him down, then you don't really have a problem. There we go, bombs will go, and again, one more round should take us to the DPS phase. We'll all meet up in the middle. Any Titans who have a bubble charged will drop the bubble, give us weapons of light and a little bit of defense from any other ads hanging around, and we'll try and get him down as much as possible. I'll explain what happens after, but we will actually need to run into what's called a clean room. There's 4 clean rooms, one on either, 2 on either side, and we'll actually need to go into those clean rooms because he will trigger another Siva density critical phase, and if we don't get in the room we will die from that. So as you can see, everyone's Galahorning, using hammers, using grenades, everything as much as we possibly can. And as the Siva density critical starts, we look for a room which is lit up. This time it's back right. We all go in and shoot the switch on the right. That closes the door, and that makes sure that we're safe inside while the Siva density critical phase is active. As you can see, one of them didn't actually make it, but it's not a problem on this phase at all. You can get him up after about sort of 30 seconds or so. So once you get that person back up again, you can just carry on with 2 on the left, 2 in the middle and 2 on the right again, and you basically rinse and repeat until the boss is down.
Yeah, monitors. Yeah. All right.
There you go, then you can see the yellow bar captain making a nuisance of himself again. If you don't get him down quickly, he can become a real spanner in the works of your raid. Stop you from getting the bombs. You know, more ads will spawn, make life difficult, and you just won't be able to obtain that syncrasy, if you like, between you and the rest of the team. So second phase of DPS. Bombs will drop from the ceiling, as you can see there. They do a lot of damage, so people will sort of jump up and get those bombs and do as much damage as they can. This time it's right again, but it's the front right room. So we're all going to get inside. Oh, the last person just about got in there, just in time. As you can see, the door comes down and we're all safe this time around. And we go on to the third phase. Obviously you've got 4 rooms, so you have kind of got sort of 4 encounters, 4 times to get him down. Everyone's kind of around 380 light, 390 light, not a problem at all. Very easy to take that boss out around 380 light. You can do it in 3 rounds. As you can see, he's about a third gone now, so this should be I think the last round. Absolutely essential that you do make sure that you get those monitors after the bombs drop. As I say, if you don't get that monitor, it will trigger a Siva density critical phase and wipe all of you. Of course you can use a safe room if you need to, but you're really going to have to make sure that you kill him on that next round, that there's no failures at all. See the rest of my team there. Not quite in sync, making me wait with the bomb. The bombs do actually expire after a certain amount of time, so once you pick them up you do need to throw them within a few seconds.
got that captain there.
Just getting you up there. Yeah. Yeah, did it. Just died around the fire.
As you can see, almost died there. I think there was 2 captains up there. Don't know how one of them got over to the right hand side there, if at all, but obviously making a real big pain in the butt there for us. Couldn't get the bombs done. You had to wait till the next round. So there we go. Last phase of damage. Tethers going in. Galahorns all over the place. And there we go, down he goes, and that is the end of that second part of the Vosik encounter. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll be uploading another one of the other phases of the raid very soon, so stay tuned.